What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. So, guys, we're going to bring you guys another recap today, going over Tuesday's practice and a couple things that really did happen. It was mainly about Richardson and about Minshew, but there was some things to talk about the wide receiver group. So that's a very interesting one. So that's going to be some interesting tidbits, but for the most part, it's one of the more I would guess kind of say like under entertained like sort of practices because we haven't had a lot to talk about as of recently, just because like everything with the JT drama feels like the one day that we're not having it, it just feels like, it's just a normal practice. So, but anyways, guys, Anthony Richardson was back today at practice. If you'll remember, he did have that procedure that he was going to have done on his nose. So that was what he was missing practice the other day for. So he was back today, said that his breathing was much better. He actually even talked about it, saying how I can't believe I didn't get this done sooner. So that's pretty funny to think about. But now Anthony Richardson can actually breathe better, which is really great for, if he's going to be doing a lot this season with, the endurance and the stamina and wanting to do all this extra work, then being able to breathe is really a fantastic thing. So awesome for Richardson. Glad that he was able to get that done. As far as his throwing ability today, it was probably his most inconsistent day so far. Finished 5 of 12 in live action throwing today. Had a couple of those that were just batted at the line of scrimmage, one that was picked off, and a couple other throws that just didn't quite make it to where they needed to go. Again, guys, he's a rookie. It's going to take a little bit more time. He's had some good days at practice. I mean, I've been one of those people that has been saying how good he has looked. And I know Pat McAfee went on his show earlier today and even talked about the same thing. And a few other people have been saying, he's had some really good throws. But so far today, he didn't have a great one so far. But we know this. I mean, he's a rookie. It's going to take time. This has only been, I believe, his 4th practice. So we got to give this thing just a little bit more time. But nevertheless, did have a rough day at practice. There was actually even the report that came out that he is now 255 pounds, guys, which is absolutely insane because most of that is just pure muscle. And it's truly incredible that he gained enough muscle mass in just a span of about 3 months or a little bit more than just about 3 months to go from I believe he was 242 when we drafted him, and now is sitting around 255. So 13 pounds in the span of just around 3 months, and most of that being just muscle mass. I mean, that's truly incredible. I mean, to give you guys perspective on it, I mean, Derrick Henry is an inch shorter and is just a little less weight than that. I mean, that's truly incredible how big Anthony Richardson is. And even though Anthony Richardson is not going to take as many hits as Derrick Henry, and we're not going to use him in the same aspect as that, I mean, I can just, for why that matters to him being so big is, I mean, I'd take you back to the days of Ben Roethlisberger, right? How many people said they hated trying to tackle big Ben Roethlisberger because the guy was 6'6" and 200 and however many pounds, and some defensive linemen found it the hardest time ever trying to get a hold of him. And even DBs, if they ever tried to get a hold of him, they were so much smaller. It's hard to bring a guy down that's that size. Not to mention a guy like Anthony Richardson, who is, only 21 years old. So he might still get bigger even. He still could get bigger. And the fact that he's not only that size, but he's athletic still. A guy that can run a 4.5, under a 4.5, and can move around the pocket the way that he does and manipulate people and juke people out and all this other things. Like, I mean, that is just such an athlete. It's just hard to find people that are that size. So is really of a cool story to see him getting so even bigger, and most of it just being pure muscle mass. It's just some dudes are built different, man. Some people are just built differently. It's truly incredible. But anyways, going on back to actual practice, Minshew actually had himself a pretty decent day. Minshew actually finished the day going 10 of 12. He actually had only one of his passes get intercepted, but also had 3 straight touchdowns on 3 throws in the red zone. He had himself a really good day today. Really happy to see Minshew having himself a good day today. And, we have to have that, right? We have to have competition. We have to have guys getting involved. I will say this. I felt bad for Anthony Richardson because the 3 snaps that he had in the red zone, they ran 1 pass and then proceeded to run the ball 2 times. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. He didn't have much of an opportunity to get any reps in the red zone. But good day for Minshew nonetheless. Julius Brents and Julian Blackmon both are expected to be back soon from hamstring injuries, per Coach Shane Steichen. Said that they're making good progress, and while they still need a little bit more time, they expect them to be out here soon. So do we see them back next week? That's what I would imagine. Do we see them this week? I have no idea, but nevertheless, I think it's still really cool that they're going to be back here shortly. And then what else do we have? Yeah, actually, like I said before, guys, with the wide receivers, it's actually one of the better days for the wide receivers of the Indianapolis Colts. They had a couple of guys really stood out. Michael Pittman had himself a really good day. Ended up having a couple really great catches. Actually had one from Anthony Richardson on a fadeaway earlier. So that was really good to see Michael Pittman doing really well so far. Rashad Perryman actually had a couple of really good catches from Gardner Minshew this week and even today. And actually a guy that had a couple of really big catches was also Mike Strawn. And that's a name we haven't heard a lot of recently, but Mike Strawn had himself a couple of really big ones today. And it's awesome that he was able to put together a strong practice, especially with, you never know when it comes to wide receivers. The Colts may need to keep him around a little longer if he can get himself right. But that's going to do it for this practice, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Again, we have a bunch more. I'll be actually going down there in a couple days to cover the Colts practice next Sunday. So make sure you guys can keep it prepared for that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.